Hey, it's April, and today I'm going to be making Gaia, a forest-dwelling demon I designed. First, let's prep the base. Remove the factory paint with acetone. Cut the hair off. Boil and remove the head. Then scrape out the roots with some tweezers. Now for the sculpting. I glued some wire to the ears as a support for some big elfy ears. I always associate elves with forest creatures, so it seemed fitting for this character. Next, I need to alter the face sculpt. I want Gaia to have huge, intense eyes and simplified features, less human, more cute, slightly creepy creature. And of course, she needs horns. I'm going for an antler-inspired shape, but like a minimalist smooth version. To finish, I'm adding the vines weaving through her skin. I was actually inspired by the Tensen from Hell's Paradise for this part. They appear as humans, but internally they're actually much more like plants, and when they take damage, vines weave them back together. It's kind of creepy, but also really beautiful, and I absolutely loved the concept, and I thought it'd be a really fun addition for this character. And after a ton of sanding, it's time to paint with acrylics. Now I know fluorescent green isn't exactly a natural colour, but in my mind Gaia would live in a sort of phosphorescent forest, so I wanted the plant parts of her to appear as if they might be glowing. I used watercolour pencils to sketch the face. And soft pastels to blush. Finally, coat the horns and eyes in Duraclear gloss varnish. I may have got a little bit carried away with the gloss on this one, but it's just so pretty and shiny. Next, let's make some shoes. I'm using the stock shoes as a base, drawing around the soles onto some craft foam, stack the pieces to make a platform, then glue to the shoe. Fill the gap with foil, cover in glitter and glue to provide grip for the clay to stick to. Smooth out the base shape, and then add texture with a ball tool to give them a more organic feel, and paint with acrylics. Cover the boot part with some fabric, and add more paint. Decorate with anchor thread and some artificial moss. Unfortunately, I only have brown, so I'm just going to paint it to match my palette. Now to make her outfit. I drew out the patterns, sewed the pieces with different blue and green fabrics, and rolled up some strips of fabric to use as a belt. Then painted with acrylics. For the net overlay, I laid out some strips of fabric, glued them together with Fabri-Tac, and added some paint. Whilst the clothes are drying, let's make some hair. First, I'm cutting up some blue yarn to use as fluff for the shaved parts. Next, I'm taking 3 shades of Merino Wool for the locks. Separate into strips with different weights so they aren't uniform. Boil some water and add some olive soap. Soak the strands in water and roll until you can't pull the fibres apart. And then repeat until there's enough to cover the head. Smother the head in tacky glue. Then smush the fluff into the glue. Once dry, brush off the excess and glue the locks in place. I started out using fabric glue for this, but it wasn't really working. I had to sit and hold them for ages, so I switched to Oohoo Super Glue Gel instead. The Instant Bond made it much easier. I also cut out leaf shapes from some fabric and painted them. Then glued to the roots on her face. And we're done. Let's check out the finished design.